Nautical Tales and Nature Trails, Recreation in Southeastern Connecticut and Southern Rhode Island, is pleased to welcome you to another fun-filled episode. Enjoy the show.
Ahoy there, and welcome to Nautical Tales and Nature Trails, Recreation in Southeastern Connecticut and Southern Rhode Island. I'm Will Morrissey, and I'll be your host as we travel around looking at all the different attractions in the area. My wife, the producer of the show, is Bridget Morrissey, and she's a realtor that races up and down the coast from Old Lyme to Charlestown. She zigzags from Mystic to Mashantucket up to Uncasville. She's all over the place, knows all the back roads because she doesn't like driving on I-95. Can you blame her? But she knows what's going on in the area, and so we put together a book, all kinds of different attractions in the area and all the different events. And we've been doing this show just to let all the people moving into the area know about it. We got a tidal wave of people coming in to build submarines, or the brave souls that drive the submarines. We got students over at Mitchell College. We got them here at UConn at Avery Point. They're at Connecticut College. Got all the cadets at the United States Coast Guard Academy, plus all the people that are coming here to visit. It's just amazing that 2023, the Mystic was the 4th best travel destination in the entire United States. Forbes got us up around 10 right now. But that's a lot of people coming into the area, and they don't all know what's going on. And today we're going to try to go over to New London for the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival, and we've got the president of OpSail Connecticut with us here today. We've got Dr. Root. Melissa Root is here.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's so cool that you're doing that. Can you tell us a little bit about the festival?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a free festival for everybody in the region, outside of the region, to come and visit us here. It is Saturday and Sunday, September 7th and 8th. We always hold it the weekend after Labor Day. And it is free. We have ships, we have Coast Guard ships, we have Navy vessels, we have merchant marine ships, we have private vessels, tall ships, and we have free water taxi between the different venues. It's going to be a wonderful weekend, live music all weekend, fishing, everything is happening. So it's really great.
Well, that's pretty cool. But how did you get involved with it?
So I was involved many years ago running a schooner race for a longer ago iteration of this festival. And then a year and a half ago, I was invited to come back to a meeting, and they asked me if I'd serve as president. And the opportunity to bring this festival to more people was very exciting to me.
Well, we have a video about what the festival is all about. Bridget and Michael, can you run that for us?
Save the date for the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival, coming to Port New London on September 7th and 8th. Witness the grandeur of military vessels, the elegance of tall ships, and immerse yourself in a sea of history. Relive the past with Flock Theater's burning of Benedict Arnold. Cheer as military personnel demonstrate their strength and skills. For sponsor and volunteer opportunities, visit ctmaritimefest.com. Together, let's make this festival an unforgettable journey for all.
Now, we heard a little bit about how it got started. You said that's the weekend after Labor Day. That's a yearly event now?
It is a yearly event, has been since I believe 2012. It's born out of the OpSail events that have happened periodically through time, where the tall ships from around the world come. And a local organization that was running that in 2012 decided they wanted to keep it going. And so OpSail Connecticut was born, and we continue on with this tradition of the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival to celebrate everything wonderful that connects Connecticut to the sea.
I was lucky enough to be on board Eagle for OpSail 86, the Statue of Liberty Centennial, and going from Cape May, New Jersey, up to the George Washington Bridge, back down the Hudson River and around the Battery Park and the South Street Seaport, and staying overnight, and just an amazing fireworks show that night. But I think we see that kind of fireworks show here every year with Foxwoods does during SailFest. I mean, it's pretty cool what's going on in the area, and it's amazing that this whole region is known for maritime history, and it's great that New London does this, and really to promote what's going on. I mean, there's always the blessing of the fleet over in Mystic. You've got different things going on up Norwich Way. They celebrate. We've got this and SailFest really brings people into New London to see what's available here. I mean, you know, the port that we have in New London is one of the best on the seacoast. I mean, and it's being used a lot for these wind turbines that are coming in. But
Yes.
we want to remember the history of maritime.
So,
things that
and to your point, our theme this year is actually navigating the future. And so we celebrate the history, we celebrate the current use of the sea. We have a Department of Energy and Environmental Protection is running a fishing clinic for families. We've done that for the last couple of years, where kids and families can come down and actually learn how to fish and actually fish. And then thanks to Ace Hardware, they get to go home with a fishing pole, many of them. And so there's this opportunity also to meet people that currently work in the seafaring industries, right? So Electric Boat is one of our sponsors. They'll be down there showcasing what they do there. People can learn about different jobs available now. They get to meet people in the military. So Coast Guard, Navy, Merchant Marines, and really get to interact with people at all levels of, enlisted through officer to admirals. We have showcased here, so.
Well, there's a lot of fun things, and we'll talk about those, but you have booths set up for all these different things you were just talking about, don't you, down at the Waterfront Park?
Yeah, so this year actually they'll all be set up down at Fort Trumbull State Park, which is a gorgeous state park. If you haven't been there, please come and visit it. It's so beautiful. Views out to Long Island Sound. We'll have vessels there, but we'll also have a lot of the shoreside activities. So these folks will have their booths set up. We have Salt the Whale, which is a 50-foot inflatable whale from Stellwagen Bank, the NOAA out of Stellwagen Bank. And kids actually get to walk inside of Salt. She's based on a real whale named Salt. And they walk inside and they get to learn about conservation and learn about what's inside a whale. And yeah, there's some really fabulous stuff. So that'll all be set up mostly at Fort Trumbull this year.
Well, I know one of the shows that we did this year was Project O.
Yeah.
Andrew Ely was over here and told us all about the educational programs that they run. And it's great to hear that we're telling people that there is so much available for work in these different industries, these maritime industries. And it's great that we can have some fun and see all these different things that are going on. But the kids, we're going to have some fun here. Let's, Bridget, if you can run the children's video, that would be great.
Celebrate Connecticut's rich maritime history and our connection to the sea. This year's festival is held at Fort Trumbull State Park and the Waterfront Park in beautiful New London. On Saturday, September 7th, from 10 hours, 3 Xiao, face painting will be held in Kids Nautical Zone, Fort Trumbull. 10, 12, make a parade costume at the Kids Nautical Zone in Fort Trumbull. More activities for children will include educational booths and songs by Steve Eltsey, who was nominated for an Emmy for his work to educate children through song. Then, with their newly made or already made costumes, the children will march in the Little Mermaids and Sea Monsters parade at Fort Trumbull. The Snow Sisters will keep the party going by being simply enchanted. On Sunday, there is more face painting and a fishing clinic for all the children. But, of course, everyone, children included, want to check out the boats. And America's tall ship, USCGC Eagle, is the highlight of the festival. The U.S. Coast Guard Eagle is used as a training ship for Coast Guard cadets. The ship offers future officers the opportunity to put into practice the navigation, engineering, and professional theory learned in the classroom. A permanent crew of 8 officers and 50 enlisted personnel maintain the ship year-round and provide a strong base of knowledge and seamanship for the training of up to 150 cadets or officer candidates at a time. Homeported in New London, CT, the 87-foot USCGC Razorbill conducts search and rescue, fisheries enforcement, and homeland security missions throughout Long Island Sound and areas offshore of southeastern New England. Razorbill has a crew complement of 11 and can rapidly deploy its embarked 17-foot boat from its stern launch and recovery system. USCGC Ida Lewis is the lead ship of the United States Coast Guard Keeper class of coastal buoy tenders. Launched in 1995, she has spent her entire career maintaining navigational aids near her home port of Newport, Rhode Island. Ida Lewis is assigned to the 1st Coast Guard District. Coast Guard Air Station, Cape Cod, situated at Joint Base Cape Cod, flies 3 Sikorsky MH-60T all-weather, medium-range helicopters for search and rescue, law enforcement, environmental protection, and homeland security missions throughout the waters of New England. The helicopter is typically operated by 2 pilots, a flight mechanic, and a rescue swimmer. Schooner Ernestina Morrissey was built in 1894 at the James and Tar shipyard for the Gloucester fishing fleet. Under Captain Bob Bartlett, she sailed to within 600 miles of the North Pole and later brought immigrants to the U.S. under the power of sail. The King's Pointer is the United States Merchant Marine Academy's capital training ship. The United States Maritime Administration acquired the King's Pointer in 2012. The King's Pointer, formerly Liberty Star, arrived at the Academy in 2013. The King's Pointer is 176 in length, with a displacement of 1,052 tons. Project Oceanology provides more than 20,000 students and adults annually with opportunities to learn about the ocean through first-hand exploration and experiences. Project O nurtures interest and inspires enthusiasm for science and for our planet's marine environment from the year-round Waterfront facility in Groton, Connecticut. Children love a festival. Take out your phone and shoot the QR code for the festival website.
That QR code will come up again later in the show. We've got that there so that you can just click on the QR code and get your get the website right on your phone or right on your computer. So that looks like it's going to be a great time for the kids both days, Saturday and Sunday.
We have things smattered throughout the weekend for kids. Yeah, it's designed really to allow them to explore at their own pace, and you know, if they want to climb aboard a boat, great. If they want to go aboard a boat and actually go out on the water, they can do that. They can fish, they can dance, they can be in the parade, they can get face painted. Yeah, it's really designed to be fun for them.
We had the DEEP, used to be DEP, here in May, leading into Safe Boating Week. And they talked a lot about what you brought up, the education, and they were talking a lot about having to watch out for invasive aquatic species attaching to your boat, attaching to the trailer when you pull it out of the water. So, I mean, it's great that, you know, we're doing these things that have fun, but they also have a lot of educational value, you know, so it's really good that these shows kind of tie in together and going back and forth that way.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
You know, but what do you think the kids like the most?
Oh, that's a great question. The fishing clinic is a big hit because last year, so many of them caught fish, which is just thrilling for kids. Well, for anybody. If I catch one, I'm thrilled. So
I was glad to hear that True Value is stepping up to the plate. Was
Ace, yeah.
You know, with the fishing poles.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
No, they sponsored us last year and this year. Yeah, that's the one in Waterford. Yeah.
Well, no wonder it's a big thing for the kids. They get to go home with a fish and a
they
fishing pole.
do, yeah.
But what do they
wonderful.
say? You can give a man a fish and he can eat for a day. You can teach a man a fish, how to fish.
And a woman.
And a woman. Well, yeah, I gotta remember to say it that way. But they'll eat forever, you know. So I mean, it's a good thing. So. But I'm sure face painting is a big deal.
So I think that's a highlight. I think marching in the parade, and they're marching in this year. The parade will happen right in Fort Trumbull, so we don't have to worry about shutting down streets or anything. They're just going to start behind the fort and then march around and snake through and down, and it'll be really wonderful for everybody to see. Whether you're on a ship or you're listening to music or wherever you are, you'll be able to see that parade come through, and they get to march with, you know, Coast Guard cadets, and you know, if we have a Navy boat, there'll be Navy personnel marching, and so they get to march with others and bands and mermaids.
There you go. Yeah, I saw that in the parade. So it also is great for adults. I mean, there's all kinds of things that are going on. You know, I mean, if you're into the maritime business and you know you like what's going on, to be able to board these ships and see, you know, how they run and what it takes to run them, you know, is really something else. I was a little bit surprised. I saw that Ernestina, the schooner, has my last name on it now. I don't know how that happened, but that's pretty cool. But you know, a ship like that has some history to it, and we'll get into that in a little bit in the video that's coming up. But all of it, you know, you got history in front and behind us, and you've got what is to come in front of us, and there's just so much happening in New London, and it's great that you and your organization are letting everybody know that they can be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely be a part of it, and we're working towards, you know, in 2026 is the 250th celebration of the United States, and so we're working to see if we can put together, you know, a larger fanfare event that year as well. So we're, again, looking towards the future too with that. And of course we have Eagle here, which is such the pride of Connecticut that we get to host America's Tall Ship right in New London. And so she'll be here open for tours, so you can really see her up close. And you know, she's been so important to every cadet that went through the Coast Guard Academy and anybody going through Officer Candidate School. They've all sailed aboard her, and so, and as have you, Will.
Yes, you know, I just will never forget that. I mean, it was a highlight. I mean, I've been in the maritime business for a good part of my life, and you know, I really appreciate things like that. But there's a lot of things that are happening Saturday and Sunday, not just for the children. So we got another video to show why you want to be in New London on September, the first weekend in September.
For those of you watching, the QR code shown will bring you to the website, and we'll leave it up at the end of the video for you to take a photo. Or you can just go to ctmaritimefest.com for all the information. The festival is providing free water taxi and shuttle buses between venues, so you can park once each day and enjoy both the Fort Trumbull and Waterfront Park venues. We have loads of fun all weekend, so plan to attend both days for a great destination weekend. The Sea Service Showdown is a maritime skills challenge that takes place as part of the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival in New London on Sunday from noon until 2 o'clock. This event showcases various maritime skills and challenges participants to demonstrate their seafaring abilities. The Sea Service Showdown adds an interactive and competitive element to the festival. It allows visitors to witness the practical skills required in maritime professions. It's an educational and entertaining event that complements the festival's other attractions. Do you think the maritime services are competitive? You better believe it. Come on down and watch the fun. Of course, the Connecticut Maritime Festival has ships for you to board. America's Tall Ship, the Eagle, Coast Guard Cutter Razorbill, Coastal Buoy Tender Ida Lewis, Schooner Ernestina Morrissey, United States Merchant Marine Academy's Kings Pointer, and Envirolab 2, Project O, are all on display for you. Coast Guard Air Station Cape Cod will provide a Coast Guard helicopter rescue demonstration on the Thames River on Saturday at 2 o'clock. The MH-60T helicopter is typically operated by 2 pilots, a flight mechanic, and a rescue swimmer. And a festival has to have music. There will be sea chantees and salsa music, children's songs and reggae, big band tunes and popular selections. The Benedict Arnold play is a significant part of the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival in New London. The play is part of a larger historical reenactment that includes the March of the Traitor down Bank Street and the burning of Benedict Arnold in Waterfront Park. Join the celebration of local American history at the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival in New London. During the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival, access to the Fort Trumbull State Park grounds is free, including the fishing pier, but the admission fees for the visitor center and fort tours still apply. Admission to Fort Trumbull State Park Visitor Center generally costs $6 for adults ages 13 and over. Children ages 6 to 12 are $2 each, and children under 5 are free. Sunday will be a fun-filled day at Fort Trumbull. If you plan on touring the ships, however, you will want to get to them on Sunday morning or all day Saturday. Some will be leaving early on Sunday to return to their home ports. For more information on the events of the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival, scan the QR code for the website, which is ctmaritimefest.com.
Well, there's a lot going on there, huh?
So I will say the burning of Benedict Arnold, a perennial favorite That goes back to 1782, so the year after Benedict Arnold burned New London down. The townspeople built an effigy, brought her down, burnt her. Philadelphia, New York, Boston, they all picked up that tradition. They would all burn an effigy of Benedict Arnold, and they would say, "Remember New London." And so we continued that. Flock Theater revived that tradition. And this year, very proud to say that we will have 2 performances of their 2-part play based on actual diary entries from townspeople from that time. And they will explain a bit about what was actually happening in New London when Benedict Arnold came and burned the city down. And the beautiful part about it is the first performances will be at Fort Trumbull. So you'll actually be at a place where this was all happening, and you can see Fort Griswold where they retreated to across the river. And then the second 2 performances will be in the evening at the Hempstead House and the Shaw Mansion. So you really get to get a great flavor of the history of this region through that.
Well, you have it in the name, heritage.
That's right.
I mean, that's wonderful. I mean, and to get everybody together for that is just amazing. And Fort Trumbull itself, the events for the festival are free. If you want to go inside, we did something when the DEP was here about the different state parks. The parking is free, but you would have to pay to go into the visitor center. I think there's an adult charge, there's a children's charge, and then a children under 5 are free charge. But that's all on the website from ctparks.com. So if you want to go to Fort Trumbull, I mean, it's a beautiful view, if you go inside the fort. And they've got statues, they've got battle plans, they've got all kinds of things inside the fort. But I don't know that you're going to have time enough to do that, during the festival, with so much going on in the festival, and I know the children, you mentioned the fishing part, that is on the pier that doesn't have any boats.
Correct. At Fort Trumbull this year it will be. Right.
Because the Coast Guard does use a couple of the piers that are there. And,
Pier 7 will be occupied hopefully with vessels. There will definitely be vessels downtown at the Waterfront Park. So
Okay.
Eagle will be downtown right behind the train station. And then this year we also are partnering with the New England Basque organization, and they are from the Basque region of Spain, which is also a seafaring group. And so they will be hosting their festival in concert with us on Saturday. So if you're downtown seeing the vessels, you can go up State Street, the lower half of State Street, and they have huge paella pans where they cook delicious food, and you can buy some food there. They'll have live music. They have, I believe, some mountain forest type sports where they're chopping wood. I won't pretend to understand exactly what they'll be doing, but I know it will be fun. So that's also a wonderful thing for adults to be able to do on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we also have a rum tasting. Rum Tropics provides the rum. We'll have a few restaurants that will provide a food pairing, and that's ticketed as well. Everything else for the festival is free. But that's Sunday at 3 o'clock, and the tasting will actually be aboard the Ernestina Morrissey, which is the tall ship from the Mass Maritime Academy. And this will be her first time here at the festival. So a brand new ship for everybody to explore.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's great. And this being the 10th annual, I think, for the
burning, I believe.
For the burning of the effigy. But it's great to see the festival growing and getting some notoriety with Massachusetts. With the groups coming down from there. And I was kidding before about the challenge. The Maritime Challenge. Do you think there's competition there?
Oh,
you see the way those guys are running down the street?
The Sea Service Showdown is very fun. So come down to cheer on your favorite sea service, right? We've got Mass Maritime cadets will be competing against Coast Guard Academy cadets, against Merchant Marine cadets out of Kings Point, against Navy chiefs. And so much more experience from the Navy chiefs, but a little longer in the tooth than the cadets, of course. And I believe Eagle might be putting together a Chiefs group as well. And that's so fun to cheer them out. And they're all extremely competitive with each other in a very good-natured way. But it's a very fun competition. Everybody walking by last year really stopped and cheered them on. They have to interpret flags, so the nautical flags. And this year our t-shirts, we'll actually be selling t-shirts this year, and they'll have the nautical flags on the back. So kind of a cheat sheet if you want. They have to, throw lines. They've got to don the full Gumby suit, and actually dive in the water and swim around a mark. And it's really fun. It's a very fun. And I suspect all these teams have been working very hard this year to get ready for this year's challenge. So.
Well, I'll bet they have. And there's a lot of people right here in New London that like to support the Coast Guard Academy and go to the football games because some of these groups that you were talking about,
they play each other.
They're on the schedule. You know?
For sure.
Whether it's football or basketball or track or whatever. So, the folks in New London that like to go to Coast Guard sporting events are going to be able to see something right here, right at the Waterfront Park.
Exactly.
Or is that going to be over at Waterfront Park?
That will be at the Waterfront Park.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Right downtown New London.
Now the other thing we saw on there was the water taxi. Now, Bridget and I took our grandkids out on that once, and they were just amazed. It was like, I think, their first time on a boat. And it's nice just to go back and forth, and it's a free service during the
for the
festival,
weekend.
right?
We hire the water taxi for the whole weekend, and so you can hop on. It's it's timed throughout the 3 sites, so it goes from City Pier in New London, goes across the river to Groton, so if you happen to want to go over there and see some things there, and then it goes into Fort Trumbull, and you can ride it as often as you'd like.
Yeah, you park in one place.
In one place,
and
it'll
not
take
have to
you-
go across a bridge and back and forth and everything else.
Exactly. So you can get back and forth by water taxi, so get out on the water, or you can go back and forth. We also have a shuttle bus. So if you're not inclined to go on the water, you can take the shuttle bus as well.
Wow. Well, these half hours fly by so fast. There's just so much to talk about, and we're really looking forward to a good time. But do you have something you really want to tell everybody that to stress about coming down, whether it's parking or whether it's the kids having fun, grandparents and parents having fun with the kids, or whatever?
I think you summed it up really well, but it's for everybody, right? It's for kids, it's for the parents, it's for the grandparents, it's for the college students, it's for the high school students. Last year we looked at who came, and it was across the board, right? So we've got music for everybody, we've got activities for everybody. Adults that want to learn to fish, they can also learn to fish. It's really designed to be a celebration for everybody. And so please come down. It's free. It's well sponsored by the community. The Office of Tourism sponsors us, and it's for you. So we do it all. It's all volunteers that do it for you. So please come down and join us.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Melissa, for letting us know about all that. And I hope you enjoyed the show. We're looking forward to bringing you more. I think we're going to be at Treat Trails the next time for the Fire Festival. But thank you once again for tuning in to Nautical Tales and Nature Trails. Have a good week.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channels at Mystic 2 Westerly and at SEC TV 1. Please join our group on Facebook and like my Facebook page. Let me explain Mystic to Westerly to you. Mystic is actually part Groton and part Stonington. Stonington Borough and Pawcatuck are also part of Stonington. 2 towns, 2 states make one community. Watch Hill and Misquamicut Beach are part of Westerly. Connecticut Route 2 starts in Pawcatuck, goes through North Stonington, into Ledyard, and Preston, to Norwich. It goes across the river into Uncasville, and more of New London County on its way to Hartford. New London County is also home to Waterford, East Lyme, Niantic, and Old Lyme. Basically, we enjoy living in southeastern Connecticut and southern Rhode Island. Thank you for watching Nautical Tales and Nature Trails. We hope you enjoyed it.